Hey humans of the world, I'm Praka Gargi and today is a Tuesday, which means it's time for True Crime Tuesday. If you're interested in paranormal activities, true crime stories, serial killers, cults, UFO tales, basically anything spooky, kooky, please consider subscribing to my channel because that is what I discuss over here every second Tuesday. Today's case is about one of the world's most deadliest cults, which led to the death of hundreds of people in Uganda. So, without any further ado, let's get into today's case. Let's start with understanding what is a cult. A cult is a group of people with unusual beliefs and high level of commitment. Members of a cult follow usually a very charismatic leader, but when they want to leave the group, they are threatened with punishment. And oftentimes these leaders claim that only they have the access to the truth of some sort, and this truth is not known to the rest of the world is wrong, and only they are right about their theories. Movement for the restoration of the 10 Commandments of God was one such cult, and it sprang to life after a woman named Credonia claimed that she was receiving visions and messages from the Virgin Mary. Before donning this image of a priestess, Credonia used to own a bar and worked as a prostitute. After her bar went broke, she joined a religious group dedicated to the worship of Virgin Mary. And soon Credonia claimed that she herself was getting visions of Virgin Mary. She told about these visions of her to a man called Joseph Kivitere, who was a renowned Catholic headmaster to a respected private boarding school. She told him that the Virgin Mary had appeared to her in her visions and had instructed her to restore the 10 Commandments with the help of a man named Joseph. Joseph had always been fascinated by such seers, and he instantly converted to Credonia's beliefs. Due to this conversion of Joseph, who was also a famous sort of political figure, the movement gained instant respectability. Together, they formed the Movement for the Restoration of the 10 Commandments of God, which was a cult that preached that the world would end in the year 2000. Credonia claimed that Virgin Mary had revealed to her sinister prophecies of wars and famines and rivers turning to blood and food turning to poison. She and her followers propagated these beliefs across Uganda, which at its peak had 4,000 members to its credit. To join, the members were expected to sell off their possessions and to give away to these cult members the considerable sum coming from the selling of properties. Movement members fasted twice a day. They were not allowed to use soap. They used to sleep without mattresses. The children were separated from the parents, the males separated from the females. The group was said to be self-sustainable. Now it meant that the members or followers, they had to work hard all day in the fields to produce crops for all the members, and often they used to go malnourished because they were starving and they really couldn't produce as much as was needed. To understand why they did this, they were actually made to believe that the world would end in the year 2000 and that they were the lucky chosen one, that they would inherit the new world which would come after the apocalypse. It is now known that the group was also using child labor, and also they used to kidnap some of these children from the streets to work for them. The group members wore black uniform, and they were also not allowed to speak. They only communicated in this sign language, and every object that came from outside like money, food or clothes was exorcised with prayer. Exorcised with prayer, because Credonia said that the devil was everywhere. In fact, she would also go on to burn some of these things because she said that these things had gone to the devil. Now we must take note of this. Credonia had some sort of an affinity to fire. She was known to burning belongings of people she didn't like, and once she had also burnt an entire plantation of bananas of someone who had offended her in some way. She and the other leaders of this group instilled in the members the fear that the devil could approach and enter them at any moment. And the compounds of this cult was spread all across Uganda. As the year 2000 approached, the group started preparing for the end. Of course, the day arrived, 1st Jan 2000. And nothing happened, there was no apocalypse, so there was a lot of discontentment in the group. A lot of members started leaving the cult and they started demanding their money back, which they had contributed earlier. So the leaders, they panicked a little bit and they proposed a new date for the apocalypse. They said that March 17, 2000 would be the last day. On March 17, 2000, a big party was organized at a secluded church. The day started early with prayer and singing at the church, followed by a feast, and then the people were huddled back to the church for more prayer and singing. It was during the final round of the prayers that nearby villagers heard loud explosions coming from that area. They went to see that the entire church was gone up in flames. It was burning in fire, and all of these windows and doors were locked, so people were not able to escape from inside. It was later learned that 530 members of that group had died that day in the church, including dozens of children. After the fire, what started was one of the biggest investigations to be ever carried out by the police of Uganda. The police found many other dead bodies in other compounds of this cult across Uganda. Many of these people were poisoned, strangulated, or just hacked to death. All in all, 924 people had died. Because the police didn't exactly know what these cult members were subjected to, they thought that all of them collectively committed mass suicide. But it was later found out that this was mass murder, and the mastermind behind it was Credonia. Days before the fire, Dominic Katari Babo, one of the leaders of this group, was seen purchasing large amounts of sulfuric acid. It is believed that this was used to ignite fire, and he, along with Credonia and Joseph, burned up the church and locked everyone so that they could not escape, and everyone inside was charred to death. Although Interpol issued notices for the arrest of these cult leaders in April 2000, it is not known whether they died in the fire itself or whether they are still living, they are still alive, and they are living under some sort of disguise in hiding. The family members of the people who lost their lives have no answers to themselves. Anna Kabariho, who lives nearby, recalls that day saying, "Everything was covered in smoke, soot, and the stench of burnt flesh. It seemed to go right to your lungs. There were dozens of bodies, burnt beyond recognition." It makes me really sad that cases like these have really not been talked about at all. While I was doing my research, there was very less information on the internet regarding this. If you have any such case which you know of but you don't really see it being talked about, let me know down in the comment section below so that I can discuss it over here and share it with others. That was it for today, guys. I hope you got to know something new from today's video. I'll soon be back with another video. Until then, guys, take care of yourself and give yourself some warm love. See you. Bye.